A country famous for 2,500-year-old ruins is about to build its tallest tower ever. Not in booming Dubai, not in gleaming Singapore. In Greece, a nation that has spent decades saying absolutely no to skyscrapers. The Riviera Tower in Athens will be the first domino in Greece's shocking $10 billion transformation plan. This single tower might solve Greece's biggest economic nightmare, or create an entirely new one. For generations, Athens had an unwritten rule: don't build higher than the Acropolis. Imagine telling New York they couldn't build taller than the Statue of Liberty, or Dubai they couldn't go higher than a palm tree. That's essentially what Greece did to itself. Walk through Athens today and you'll see endless rows of 6-story concrete blocks. These aren't charming European townhouses. They're bland, identical apartment buildings that stretch as far as the eye can see. The city looks like someone copy-pasted the same building 1,000 times across the landscape. But there's a reason for this architectural monotony. After World War II, Greece created building codes that essentially banned tall structures. The fear was simple: earthquakes could topple towers. And besides, who wants to compete with the Parthenon? This decision shaped an entire nation's skyline for 70 years. While other countries reached for the clouds, Greece stayed stubbornly horizontal. Then came 2019, and everything changed. The Greek government announced something that shocked architects worldwide. They were approving the Riviera Tower, a 200-meter giant that would dwarf every other building in the country. Think about those numbers for a moment. At 200 meters, this tower is taller than 40 regular houses stacked on top of each other. In a city where most buildings max out at 6 stories, this thing will rise 50 stories into the sky. The tower is completely different from anything Greece has ever attempted. We're talking about luxury apartments that cost more than most Greeks make in a lifetime, office spaces designed for international corporations, and amenities that sound more like Dubai than Athens. But here's where it gets really interesting. This tower represents the first step in Greece's master plan to completely reinvent itself as a luxury destination for the ultra-wealthy. The Riviera Tower is just the beginning. Greece has quietly launched one of the most ambitious urban transformation projects in European history, a $10 billion plan to turn the Athens coastline into a Mediterranean Monaco. The centerpiece? Something called the Hellenicon project. Picture the world's largest coastal urban regeneration project, built on the site of Athens' old airport. We're talking about luxury hotels, shopping districts, residential towers, and a massive park, all designed to attract the global elite. The numbers are staggering. This single project will create 75,000 jobs and add 2.4% to Greece's entire GDP. That's like adding the economic output of a small country to Greece's economy in one fell swoop. But here's the crazy part. Greece is doing this while still recovering from one of the worst economic crashes in modern history. Let's rewind to 2010. Greece was essentially bankrupt. The country couldn't pay its bills, unemployment hit 27%, and young Greeks were fleeing the country in droves. Athens looked less like a European capital and more like a city under siege. Banks were closing, protests filled the streets, and the entire European Union was wondering if Greece would collapse entirely. The word Grexit, Greece exiting the European Union, became a real possibility. Fast forward to today, and Greece is chasing luxury towers and billion-dollar developments. How does a country go from economic disaster to building skyscrapers for millionaires in just over a decade? The answer reveals something fascinating about how nations reinvent themselves in the 21st century. Greece's leaders realized something crucial. You can't rebuild an economy by staying exactly the same. While other European countries competed on manufacturing or technology, Greece decided to compete on something entirely different: lifestyle. The strategy is brilliant in its simplicity. Instead of trying to build factories or tech hubs from scratch, Greece is leveraging what it already has: incredible weather, beautiful coastlines, rich history, and a location that connects Europe to Asia and Africa. But they're not just selling tourism anymore. They're selling a complete lifestyle transformation to the world's wealthy elite. Here's where Greece's plan gets really smart. The country offers something called a golden visa. Invest 250,000 euros in Greek real estate, and you get European Union residency. Not just Greek residency, access to the entire European Union. For wealthy individuals from China, Russia, the Middle East, and beyond, this is incredibly attractive. You get a luxury apartment in a beautiful Mediterranean country, plus the ability to live and work anywhere in Europe. The Riviera Tower and projects like Hellenicon aren't just buildings. They're golden tickets to European citizenship wrapped in luxury packaging. Since 2014, Greece has issued over 30,000 golden visas, bringing in more than 7.5 billion euros in foreign investment. That's not just pocket change. That's enough money to transform entire regions of the country. But there's another layer to this story that most people miss. Greece's transformation is being funded largely by Chinese investment. The same country that built entire cities from scratch is now helping Greece rebuild its economy through luxury real estate. Chinese companies are pouring billions into Greek infrastructure, ports, and real estate projects. The port of Piraeus, Greece's largest port, is now majority owned by Chinese shipping giant COSCO. Chinese investors are major backers of the Hellenicon development. This creates a fascinating dynamic. Ancient Greece being rebuilt with modern Chinese capital, targeting wealthy global citizens who want European residency. Not everyone in Greece is celebrating these changes. Many locals worry that luxury developments will price them out of their own neighborhoods. Imagine living in the same area your family has called home for generations, only to watch luxury towers rise around you with apartments you could never afford. There's also the cultural concern. Greece has spent millennia preserving its architectural heritage. Critics argue that chasing Dubai-style development risks turning Athens into just another generic luxury destination. The protests haven't been massive, but they're persistent. Environmental groups worry about coastal development. Historians question whether modern towers belong in a city famous for ancient monuments. But perhaps the biggest risk is economic. Greece is essentially betting its recovery on attracting wealthy foreigners. What happens if global economic conditions change? What if other countries offer better golden visa deals? What if the luxury real estate market crashes? Then there's the issue nobody wants to talk about publicly: earthquakes. Greece sits on several active fault lines. The country experiences hundreds of minor earthquakes each year, and major ones every few decades. Traditional Greek buildings were designed low and sturdy for good reason. Now the country is building its tallest structures ever in one of Europe's most seismically active regions. Engineers insist modern technology can handle the risk. The Riviera Tower uses advanced seismic engineering that didn't exist when Greece first banned tall buildings. Computer simulations show it can withstand earthquakes that would level traditional structures. But there's still an element of uncertainty. Greece is essentially conducting a real-world experiment. Can modern engineering overcome ancient geological realities? If the Riviera Tower succeeds, it won't stay alone for long. Developers across Athens are already proposing similar projects. The city's skyline could look completely different within a decade. Other Greek cities are watching closely too. Thessaloniki, Greece's second-largest city, is considering its own luxury development projects. Islands like Mykonos and Santorini are exploring high-end resort expansions. Greece could transform from a horizontal nation to a vertical one within a generation. But Greece isn't operating in a vacuum. Countries across the Mediterranean are competing for the same wealthy international residents. Spain offers golden visas, Portugal has similar programs, and Italy is developing luxury real estate markets. Dubai continues to attract global investment with even more ambitious projects. Singapore offers political stability and business opportunities. Monaco remains the ultimate luxury destination. Greece is entering a crowded market where countries are literally competing to attract the world's wealthy elite. The question isn't just whether Greece can build luxury towers, it's whether those towers can compete with established alternatives worldwide. Here's something most coverage misses. The Riviera Tower isn't just tall, it's smart. The building incorporates advanced technology that would have been impossible when Greece first started avoiding skyscrapers. We're talking about systems that automatically adjust energy consumption, smart elevators that reduce waiting times, and integrated security that uses facial recognition and AI monitoring. The building is designed to be a showcase for how technology can enhance luxury living. It's not just about height, it's about creating a completely different living experience that justifies premium prices. Construction on the Riviera Tower is advancing rapidly. The foundation is complete, and the tower is rising floor by floor. Each month brings Greece closer to a moment that will define its economic future. But here's what makes this story truly fascinating. Greece isn't just building a tower, It's conducting a massive social and economic experiment. Can a nation famous for ancient history successfully rebrand itself as a modern luxury destination? The early signs are promising. Pre-sales for Riviera Tower apartments have exceeded expectations. International investors are paying premium prices for units that won't be completed for another 2 years. Foreign investment in Greek real estate hit record levels in 2023. The Golden Visa program continues attracting wealthy applicants from around the world. Tourism numbers have not just recovered from the economic crisis, they've surpassed pre-crisis levels. Success is creating unexpected consequences throughout Greek society. Property values in Athens have increased dramatically. Young Greeks who couldn't afford apartments during the economic crisis now face even higher prices due to foreign investment. Local businesses are adapting to serve an increasingly international clientele. Restaurants are adding multilingual menus, shops are accepting various currencies, and service industries are hiring staff who speak Mandarin, Arabic, and Russian. Athens is slowly transforming from a purely Greek city to an international hub. Whether this represents progress or cultural loss depends entirely on your perspective. The Riviera Tower should be completed during 2025. When it opens, Greece will officially enter uncharted territory, a nation that spent generations avoiding height suddenly reaching higher than ever before. But the real test isn't whether the tower gets built. The real test is whether Greece's radical transformation actually works. Can a country replace economic ruins with luxury skyscrapers? Can ancient heritage coexist with modern ambition? Can a nation reinvent its entire identity without losing its soul? The answers will determine not just Greece's future, but whether other struggling economies can follow the same playbook. Countries around the world are watching to see if Greece's $10 billion gamble pays off. Because if it works, Greece won't just have built a tower, it will have created a blueprint for national transformation that could reshape how we think about economic recovery in the 21st century. The question isn't just whether the Riviera Tower will stand tall. The question is whether Greece itself will rise or fall with it. But Greece's skyscraper revolution is nothing compared to what's happening just south of Europe. Right now, engineers are planning a $7 billion tunnel that will connect 2 entire continents for the first time ever. The story of how this impossible project could actually work and why some experts think it might trigger the next global economic shift is absolutely incredible. Click here to watch that investigation, because what you'll learn will change how you see the future of international trade forever. Click on Watch Next to see the video.